Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Four podcast. My name is Luke Spring. I'm with the usual Brian, Nick, and Andrew. How you guys doing tonight?
Not expecting to do a podcast, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It wasn't as terrific as it was yesterday, but I'm terrific.
Fire Luke.
Fire Luke.
Yeah,
Fire Luke.
hashtag fire Luke on all social media platforms because I muffed it. We recorded in probably 50 minutes or so last night, and I forgot to press record. So you're getting to those of you, I said it in our Instagram, to those of you who actually listen to our podcast episodes, which is probably like 5% of people who follow us on Instagram, you're getting it a day late. My bad. Sorry. We're not perfect.
Fire Luke quoted
for our
by
fans.
Luke Spring.
It's unfortunate for our listeners because I was at my peak terrificness yesterday, and now I'm not.
You were.
It's official. I've gone down, so I got to somehow build myself back up.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was like I'm up top, and we're like, I don't know if I'm going to go up or down, but I've gone down since.
Mm-hmm. But yes, my apologies to the fans, to America. I'm sorry, America. I let you down. But you know, doesn't let you down. The freaking Big Four podcast, and we are your number 2 source for all things sports. If you know, you know. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Big Four _.
That's right, baby.
Yes, sir. We're gonna start and do everything that we did yesterday, so it's gonna be weird for us, but not weird for you because you guys didn't listen to that conversation because I wasn't recording. Okay. Anyways, we're done with Luke's slander for tonight. We're going to start with an argument or conversation we had. I don't really want to call it an argument. Sure, you can call it an argument, conversation, whatever, that we had 2 nights ago now during the Browns-Steelers wild card game and the decision or no decision by Mike Tomlin, depending on what side of the argument you're on, to either punt or go for it on 4th and 1 to start the fourth quarter. And Nick, would you like to begin the argument with what you thought was the correct decision that Mike Tomlin should have made?
Sure, I'll start it off real quick. I don't think it was the correct decision. If people, for those who didn't watch the game but know the sport of football, know how it works. Pittsburgh had scored in the last 4 possessions. They were down big, and they were mounting a comeback. And I didn't think it was the appropriate move to pull Ben Roethlisberger after he was playing such dominant, good football over the last 4. Dominant's not the right word because it was a short time, but over the last 4 drives prior. And I don't know. I just didn't think they should have taken the ball out of the hottest man on the field's hands. That's just me.
So I'm gonna disagree with you there, and I feel like, like you said, Pittsburgh was rolling, but on the other side, Cleveland's offense was slowing down just a little bit. The drive before was 1 minute 9 seconds, 3 and out. I feel like they would have trusted their defense to get a stop. They were down 12 at the time, so two score game. If you do give up that, if you don't get it, you give up the field position. They're at Pittsburgh's 40, so around there.
41.
I don't know.
Pittsburgh's on 41.
Yeah, so around that. So I just feel like, I don't know, it wasn't the right field position to do it. Their run game is god awful. James Conner, congrats. You ran the ball for 1 yard about 2 other times. Derek Watt. I apologize. Got stuffed on a 3rd and 1. Ended up having a punt there.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just feel like they could have trusted their defense to get a stop. Obviously, Cleveland did end up scoring on that drive, but right then and there, it seemed like the right choice. And the punter punts it straight into the end zone. You put it. They start at the 20. If you start at the 15, 10, 5, it doesn't matter. That switches up the game plan. That switches up the plays that you used during that drive.
Yeah, the Cleveland went 3 and out, or at least maybe only had 1 first down on their 3 drives in the third quarter. They were not moving the ball, and Pittsburgh was in that spot where they had plenty of time. Time wasn't a concern in the game at the point of that call, and if they didn't convert on that 4th down, they were basically giving Cleveland 3 points. So they were like, we're going to trust our defense that got us to this record, because really their offense, I don't think, had any reason for, other than a few games early on, for them being 12-4, worst 12-4 team ever. You trust your defense, you pin them inside the 10 and make it a long field. Cleveland wasn't doing anything. Their playbook shrinks when you're inside the 10. So that's what I think was the punter was. He screwed up. Yeah, he had to pin that out of bounds inside the 10. You can't even allow for your special teams unit to mess up by downing it or bouncing it to the end zone. So that was the mistake. I like the call. I think it was the right call with the amount of time that was left in the game, and you couldn't really hand Cleveland the field position there. You got to make it.
Here's the thing. The difficult thing about this whole argument is that we're all playing with hypotheticals. So you guys are arguing, well, if they pin him inside 10-yard line, we don't know what's going to happen after that. And for me, it's what happens if they get it or don't get it. Can the defense stop them, or can they go down the field and score? So in my opinion, I think that obviously it's a very difficult thing. I'm not going to guarantee anything because I don't feel strong. I don't feel that strong. I felt strongly yesterday and the day before. I don't feel strongly as much just because we're dealing with all the hypotheticals, the what ifs. But I just think at the end of the day, Ben Roethlisberger was rolling the pass game, and he's the only guy that's going to get them to come back and win this game. It's only him. The defense isn't going to win the game for him. And you're down 2 scores, down 12 points, 35-23 at the time. And I think he's the only person that can get that done for you. And you took it out of his hands. Fourth and 1. Yeah, I get where Tomlin's coming from. He's just being conservative, but I don't think it was the time for him to be conservative, especially in a playoff game when you're losing to the Browns by 12 scores and you need to, come back.
I thought it was kind of the smart choice just because, if you trust that defense to get you a 3-and-out, you're going to be basically at your 40. Yeah. So, it's going to be, you really have to rely on efficiency, especially with only 15 minutes left in the game, considering that was going into the fourth quarter and you're down 2 scores. And they went for 2 twice, went 0 for 2. And if they didn't get that fourth down, Cleveland's good for at least a field goal. And if they get it to 15, I don't trust them getting a 2-point conversion. They went 0 for 2, like I said. So, I don't know. I feel like that was a smart move. Try and force the 3-and-out, get good field position, be real efficient on offense.
Yeah.
I think that this is my closing remarks. But I think that let's just play the hypothetical game. Let's say that Pittsburgh goes down and scores and makes it 35-30. Now Baker Mayfield gets the ball back and he is on his toes because if he turns the ball over, that could be it. The Pittsburgh would come back from 25 points in one half football. If they go down and score, that puts Baker on his toes right there. And I think Baker Mayfield is punter effed up. We can all agree on that. Consensus, punter effed up, put it in the end zone. Should have been inside the 10-yard line. But Baker, even if with the ball, he's thinking, we're up 2 scores. I can still turn this ball over, and this game is not. We're still going to have the lead. It's different. It's closer, definitely closer, but he still has that sort of security mentally. If it's a 1-score game, he's playing on his toes, right? And Cleveland was sort of treading water. They didn't really have any momentum. I think that getting a stop, Baker's like, yes, finally, defense got me a stop. Took him a while. Took him 4 drives. Finally got me a stop. Now I can work with something maybe, especially because the punter effed up. So I think, I think that you put more pressure on Cleveland if they go for it, get it, and go down and score. But that's a lot of things that need to happen. They need to get the first down and then go the rest of the way. It would have been, 58 yards. They would go like 58 more yards to score. And that would put the pressure on Cleveland. So, it's all what ifs in this argument. So it's a very tough call. You guys think it's the wrong call? I think – or it's the right call. I think it was the wrong call, but we'll never know what's what because at the end of the day, it was the call. It was a failed call. Like, no one executed right there. The defense didn't come through and the punter didn't execute.
No, I know. And again, it's tough because you can't really predict what's going to happen. Like, you can't predict that Chubb is going to have that 40-plus yard touchdown next drive. So, it's tough. But he did what he thought was the best for the team and the best chance to win. But yeah, he did what was best, and I think it didn't work out in the end because obviously they lost, but that was also a big part in the 28-0 first quarter.
We mentioned Mike Tomlin. I think he's a bad coach, but the whole culture in Pittsburgh or holding players accountable and kind of like what his players are saying after the game and stuff, Like what Chase Claypool said the next day.
Oh
that,
yeah.
That Cleveland's. It doesn't matter that they lost because Cleveland's going to lose.
That's such
Buddy,
a loser mentality.
You
I
deserve to
know,
be out of the
exactly.
league because
That's
of that.
so bad.
Yeah.
That's
What
such
a
a bad.
terror. They are
That's a
such
sore loser. Oh, they're about to get clapped anyway. So what? What if you win? If Pittsburgh
So
wins,
it's okay
Claypool's
you
doing
lost 'cause they're gonna
TikToks in the
lose?
locker room with Juju Smith-Schuster, and we gonna beat Kansas City next. Kansas City
Buffalo.
up next. Like, whatever. We're gonna win the next game. It's they wouldn't be feeling. Cleveland Browns they're thinking about beating Kansas City right now.
Like
If
how can
Pittsburgh probably would have gotten clapped by Buffalo.
because they did
Oh, yeah.
earlier.
They
Like,
did
but
earlier in the season. Their
how
offense
can-
is not
how
good
can
enough.
you say, "Oh, it's fine. They're going to lose anyways"? Dude, you're the one who lost. They're the one who's still playing.
And they lost in very absurd fashion.
Like what?
28-0.
Awful.
It was
You should be-
that was embarrassing.
If
Just
you're like
get
if
out
you're
of the league.
Pitts- if
Stick to
you're-
TikTok, man.
If you're Pittsburgh, you're trading him. You
Yeah.
get that guy
Yeah.
out of your locker room.
Get
Seriously.
Juju. Don't sign him back.
Well, you're not.
Uh-uh.
They're not going to re-sign him. You got like it's ridiculous. Like that's awful.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Go make your
That's
earnings
awful.
off the TikTok Creator Fund.
Hmm
Honestly.
So
Too bad you guys couldn't hear our argument last night because it was a lot more detailed. But it doesn't matter. We move on, and we can actually now talk about something that we were gonna say for Thursday, but at this point we can just figure out something else to talk about Thursday. But we can talk about the upcoming games because the wild card round is officially
Are we doing our
over.
picks right now or something?
No, we're not doing the picks.
No,
We can just
just talk
talk
about
about them. We can do our picks obviously
Yep.
next week, or not next week, Thursday in
Yep.
2 days. But the NFL gets what it wants in Tom Brady, Drew Brees,
Yep.
first time being in the playoffs ever. Yeah,
On the History Channel.
on the history, yeah, on the History Channel, National Geographic. It's gonna be on everything.
We could potentially be close to I mean, Andrew and I have always rooted for Brady Rodgers in a Super Bowl. And we are very close to seeing a Brady Brees and a Brady Rodgers in the
Yep.
same season. And it's
Brady
not even
Mahomes.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I
Brady.
think, and there's no question that I mean, you see the first two matchups, Brady Brees in the regular season. This is gonna be much different.
Oh no, yeah, it's
you
gonna be
see
so
you
different.
see the offense being just it's so much better now with
Bray's a
Brady.
man of adjustments.
Yeah,
And we
exactly.
can't forget though, the best matchup of them all will remain Brady Heineke. I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course
That's gonna
it
be
would.
that's the best QB Brady's ever played in a playoff game.
By
Hands down.
And
Playoff
I don't
Brady
think
was-
honestly
Tim
though.
Tebow stacks up there too. You know, it's Brock Osweiler, Marcus Mariota, all those playoff QBs he's faced.
No,
It's a
No,
big
it's
list.
Heineke.
but
Heineke's number
like
one.
Taylor
he played
Heineke, I mean-
Mahomes. He's played Manning, Roethlisberger, Wilson.
Oh wait, hold on.
Heineke
Speaking
stands alone, my friend.
Speaking of some
Heineke
of
stands
those.
alone.
Speaking of some of those, I saw this today. Playoff win since 2017. Big Ben 0, Russell Wilson 1, Matt Ryan 1, Phillip Rivers 1, Blake Bortles 2.
Yeah.
That Pittsburgh hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. They haven't won
You
since
know
they
who
beat
has
the
more wins
Dolphins
than
in the
all?
wild card round. That's
And-
bad.
San Fran also has Jimmy Garoppolo's got 2 wins too. Jimmy G.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I still think it's absolutely absurd if when you look at like all-time playoff wins, Brady is 1 win away from being double any other quarterback's
Yeah.
all-time wins in the playoffs with 32.
crazy.
Joe Montana is the next closest at 16.
That's a lot.
Hang on to that. You want to know
2
who?
seasons worth of playoff.
You want to know who
wins.
else has like? I don't know if he has 2 or more. Colin Kaepernick.
Well, they went to the Super Bowl, so yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
I
has
know.
to have at
Yeah.
least 2.
Yeah, 2 or more.
That's ridiculous.
No, but
More
that
than
was since
Russell Wilson.
2017. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
they went
like
to the
all-
Super
I
Bowl
still
in
can't believe
2013.
that's one of
No,
that's
Big
one of the-
Ben's won a Super Bowl. He hasn't won 0
Oh,
playoff
I didn't get this
games in
since
his life.
2017. Yeah, wait, what the heck? Why didn't I realize that Russell Wilson's won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was
2013.
since 2017.
We've been Pittsburgh's been really
that's a
like,
dumb
they've
stat.
been underachieving bad. They've been almost like the Bruins this decade.
Yeah.
On like a team
Not
that's
that
always
bad.
Sixers. The Sixers.
No, the
Sixers
Sixers
were
were
Because
horrendous.
the Sixers,
Sixers
the
were the
Sixers
worst
were
team-
terrible
the
up
worst
until
team in
like
NBA history up until
3 years ago.
2017.
Yeah.
We're
They
talking
also
about
they also
recent
have
years.
high. See the difference with the Sixers and those two teams is the Sixers they have high expectations in the off season and then they end up being like a 5 or 6 seed. The Bruins and Steelers play really well in the regular season but just can't get it done in the playoffs. The Sixers don't
Yeah.
even make an
Or-
effort in the regular season.
Dare I say, I'm going to get my head cut off for this, but the Boston Celtics too. fall into that category.
That's not. See, that's different
No,
because
'cause I
they're
wouldn't
young,
say they
were
don't-
younger.
The
Oh,
Celtics
come
aren't a
on.
win now team.
Yeah, but they've had
The Steelers have one last shot. This is their shot right now, and
Yeah,
they blew it.
well,
They
it
were
was
11-0.
it was
Ben
a prime
Roethlisberger's
position
probably
5
going to
years ago, to be
retire.
honest. But
Well, yeah, obviously, and that just fell down. It just collapsed. And guess what? That's awesome. Love to see it.
Mhm.
It is.
I mean, we hate the Steelers.
Hate the Steelers, and I mean Bruins opening night on Thursday. How exciting is that?
Can't
I
wait.
know.
Hockey.
I
but
can't
back
wait
to-
till Lake Tahoe.
That'll
That's
be
going to be
fun.
sick.
Oh.
That is going to be sick.
Yeah, it is.
But back to the Brady Breeze. I mean, it's cool that it's happening and all, but it would have been so much cooler if this happened 10 years ago when they were both in their prime. I mean, Brady had the second most touchdowns in his career this past season, and he's still like pretty good at playing quarterback. But Drew Brees is just not himself at all right now.
No,
so
he's been
I wish it
he's
was.
been-
I wish this happened, a few years earlier. Because really, if the Saints are to win, which we'll get to our picks on Thursday, but I'm saying right now I'm probably going to go with the Bucks. But if the Saints are to win, it's because of their defense and because of Alvin Kamara. That's the reason they'll win the game, not because of Drew Brees. It's not going to be a Drew Brees Brady like showdown where they're both going to throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's going to be. Brady can win for his side, but Drew Brees isn't going to be able to win the game for the Saints. It's going to be other factors.
It's
Brady-
also, let's look at the history of the Saints. This team can't finish in the playoffs.
no,
They
I know.
can't. Not since they
They
won.
wanted to lose that game against Chicago. They wanted
Minnesota.
to. They tried so hard
They
to
did
lose
not
that
play
game.
well against Chicago. They didn't play
Minnesota
well against Chicago.
twice.
Minnesota twice. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, and then the Seahawks
Rams.
too. And the
Yep.
Rams. They can't find a way to finish, and we know it's better than anyone that Brady knows how to finish playoff games. I just
Exactly.
don't think
Yep.
this is the Saints. Saints just have the wrong team.
They're not
the wrong-
going to beat
right.
Brady 3 times in the same season. Not happening.
No.
Not at
No.
all.
I mean,
Especially not
here's-
after how they played against the Bears. They
Yeah,
don't-
for sure.
I don't think it's
I
gonna
just,
be a good game.
I mean, Brady.
It'll be a good
Brady,
game.
Yeah, I mean, Brady. All the games that he's lost, well, relatively, most of the games that the Buccaneers have lost this year, Brady's getting pressured all day long. That's how you beat him. And honestly, looking at their game against Washington, yeah, he was getting pressured, but Brady, I don't
really,
know. I don't know what it is.
Gronk has
I don't know what
been
it is.
a beast as
Oh,
a
yeah.
blocker.
Yeah.
He was
you see him just you see
he
him
was
get Chase
one on-
Young.
He was one-on-one on Chase Young half the game. That's what people don't understand. Like Gronk, that's why Gronk did not catch a single ball because Cameron Brate's out there catching balls. And I was like, where the hell's Gronk? He's being an absolute beast blocker the whole time, sealing up that
Yeah,
number one pass
exactly.
rush. And you think about it, the rest of the teams remaining in the playoffs, other than the Rams, who I would assume would lose to Green Bay, there isn't really a team with a pass rush. So Brady's in a good position. That'd be crazy if you won again.
The Ravens is
know.
real. Ravens, besides the Rams, are the only one I can think of. But then they would have to meet in the Super Bowl, so that I don't think is going to
Ravens-
happen. It would be
Ravens are not
Bucks or
good.
Ravens.
I don't know about Brady. I think Green Bay is pretty solid.
Well, yeah.
Does Brady have to win again? Can we just
No, I don't think he's going to win.
I don't want.
I don't think
well,
they're
I
going to
don't-
win again.
I don't
I
want to
don't
see him
think
win the
so.
year after
They're
he
not
leaves.
coached well enough. They're not coached
Oh,
well enough.
No, Bruce Arians is garbo.
Bruce Arians did not
Brady's
look
the
like
coach
Bruce.
now. Brady's the
Oh, yeah.
offensive coordinator now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He does whatever he wants.
I think
But
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a State Farm matchup.
The Bucks are so stacked though. Like it's ridiculous how they didn't.
If they
finish
had
the
a
one
better
seed in that
coach-
division.
Oh yeah, if they had a
Oh,
better.
imagine
coach.
if Bill got all that.
God.
16-0.
We're
2007.
looking at
That's what it
annihilation.
was. That's what it
Well,
was.
they'll
It
be
was
like 15-1,
choking
like a terrible loss, but like no one cares
Yeah.
about. We forget about.
Yeah, it's like Brady's MVP season in like 2010, where he lost to the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. And then
Can't believe we got dusted by the Jets in that playoff game. 2009, 2010, good Patriots teams both lost their first playoff game. Disappointing.
Yeah, disappointing. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
And then 2011, obviously.
Oh, that's disappointing too. But we got to give thanks to the Baltimore kicker for that one.
Oh, was that
23-yarder? It wasn't Tucker. It was the kicker
It
before
wasn't.
Tucker.
No, it was. I have the name in the back of my head.
Something with an R. I feel like I don't remember.
Searching.
23-yarder for the or 30-yarder, whatever it was for the tie. He missed by like 20 yards.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't even close.
yeah. Looking like me on the tee box.
Oh, speaking of kickers, when was Roberto Aguayo on the Patriots practice squad?
This year, we just signed him.
Yeah.
No, I
Dude,
know.
he was drafted like in the.
He was drafted
probably
in the
second round.
But he
round
was he was a second
by
round pick.
Tampa. Second
Oh
round
my
pick.
god.
Oh,
But he
Cundiff.
was Billy Cundiff.
Billy Cundiff.
Yeah, okay, I remember him. But he was a bucket. Roberto
at
Aguayo
Florida
for
State.
At
Yeah.
Florida
Yeah,
State, he
Florida
was.
State, yeah.
That was the
I-
Winston year,
Imagine
right?
wasting a second round pick on a kicker.
Yeah,
NFL
that's
draft
bad.
picks round
he-
1
and
through
he got
3
cut.
are so
They got
valuable.
him.
Well, we wasted a
Dude,
5th round pick
Arians
on
cuts kickers like
Rohrwasser,
it's
and that
nobody's
guy's
business.
on the practice squad.
Arians
Who?
cut Bruce Arians
Justin
cuts kickers like it's
Rohrwasser or
nobody's
whatever. We
business.
drafted a kicker in the 5th round this past draft, and he apparently couldn't make a kick in training camp.
Yeah, well, we also have to go.
Well, neither
fucking
could
Madden.
Nick Folk. Nick Folk sucked
Nick
the
Folk
first 2
this-
weeks though.
Yeah, well,
Nick-
his only missed field goal was against the Dolphins week 1. His first kick of the year, he missed by a mile. And I was like, oh, jeez. Here we go.
Here we
That's a straight bucket.
Yeah.
What
Thanks.
if we got 3 all pro first team special teams? Punter, kicker, punt returner. That'd be sick.
Kicker, honestly, we didn't. Yeah, I don't think he kicked enough field goals for us to get it. I mean, you would think. He
I'm
would've kicked
surprised
more.
Koo didn't get any first team or second.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't think so. Well, he led the league in points, and he didn't get first because it was
Saunders, right?
Sanders.
Yeah,
Jason
Jason Sanders. But then second team, I forget who the second team was, but I don't think it was
Probably
Koo.
Tucker.
True. It could have been Tucker, and it also could have been
Blankenship or Carlson.
Blankenship. I don't know. I don't know why we're
Tyler
talking
Bass,
so much
he was
about
good for Buffalo,
kickers.
I don't remember.
Bass.
Bass had like some games where he missed multiple field
Jake
Yeah, it doesn't
Bailey
really
though
matter.
was the MVP of the Patriots season by far.
Yeah.
Jake
I mean,
Bailey's the best player on the team.
That's
He was
pretty-
0.1 yards away from setting the most yards per punt in NFL history. The reason he didn't get it,
away.
and he had it going into week 17. He lost it because we punted twice from the 50 in the Jets game or whatever.
Dang.
So
Yeah,
the
second
punts
team.
were
Second
shorter.
team was Tucker.
So yeah, Jake Bailey, absolute bucket. 5th round pick, really good pick. I was like, wow, righty punter. Bill always goes with the lefty punter.
I know. I was
And
confused.
our
with
2
that.
MVPs were him and Olszewski.
First team.
Gonna
Special
Slater.
teams.
Yeah.
Our special teams, best in the league. Slater,
and Slater
Gunner,
second team.
second team. It's so funny.
Slater's a guaranteed All Pro.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's so good.
He's
And
just
there's
so
no one
consistent.
that really
He's
does.
just a gunner,
what he
right?
does.
Yeah, that's all
He
he
like
does.
does everything though. I feel like.
I think he's listed as a
Wide
wide
receiver.
receiver,
Wide receiver.
but he's not gonna play there. He's just,
Nah,
he's just a gunner.
That's how valuable he is. They waste a wide or not waste, but they use a wide receiver slot on Matthew Slater every year just to keep him on the team. That's how valuable he is to them.
Three
yeah,
phases of the game.
Gunnar Olszewski better be getting that
so-
9 overall care package from Madden next year.
I know.
Getting it delivered from Patrick Mahomes. He's just like he just
Facts.
pulls up to like some like
go.
condominium. It's just like he has to like ring the bell. It's just like, Gunner, is that you?
But we will continue the talk about the future, the divisional round on Thursday when we do our picks. But since we missed recording it last night, we get to talk about the national championship game. And there's not really a lot to
positive.
talk. I know there's not really a lot to talk
Positive.
about because it wasn't really a game. It
Alabama
was kind
is
of,
an absolute wagon.
but I have a question. So
Ohio State tried.
was this a game that raised who I don't, never mind. I'm
No, go
let
ahead.
me restart.
No.
Let me restart the
Okay.
wording. Did out of this game, this national championship game, did Mac Jones raise his draft stock more, or did Justin Fields lower his more?
Justin Fields lowered his by far. Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I saw in the next thing that Fields was going to go after Trey Lance.
I don't think Fields is
latest
good.
mock
I don't
draft.
think.
No.
I don't
So,
think he's
I
good.
saw
Everybody
Trey
was
Lance at the
flipping out.
Trey Lance at 14 to New England, and then Justin Fields to Washington at 19.
Yeah, everybody was flipping out. It's just like, oh yeah, he's gonna go first overall. He might surpass Trevor Lawrence. Relax. It was one game.
He had one game. He wasn't really good all year long. He was fine.
No, he wasn't.
But
No.
he is a college quarterback. He's Johnny Manziel. He's that kind of guy who runs around in
Johnny
circles
football.
and throws the football down the field. Like Nah, I don't see him being good in the NFL. He's another Ohio State quarterback that's gonna suck. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would. I've never. I mean, as Patriots fans, we're so used to the pocket passer. So like, Mac Jones to me is just like
I sent
Yeah.
Brian this.
A
He's just
pocket passer.
he's just glowing around.
unathletic guy
Just
who
like,
can just stand in the
I
pocket,
saw-
throw 50 yards downfield.
I saw the
Yeah.
Instagram post of a picture of Brady,
Brady
when he
and
was
Mac
in the
Jones.
draft, and then Mac Jones like.
Unathletic guy who's just
So you
like
pick up what? It's like there's a Spider-Man meme where we're all pointing at each other.
I don't
Uncanny.
think he's a first round pick because I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know.
He's a Saban quarterback. Belichick's gonna take him if he's available.
If he's available, they have to just
He's
because
a Saban guy.
they kind of have to. But
Saban,
yeah.
dude.
Bill's going to take a defensive
Golf
tackle just
partners.
because he's going to do that. That's what he's going to do. Or he's going to
Or
trade the
he's
pick.
gonna trade down for a
Yeah.
second and a third.
Yeah, he
Bill's
might
gonna
do
trade
that.
down for the entire
He's
sixth
gonna-
round.
He's gonna draft a D3 kid.
Who knows? Yeah, Kyle Duggar. Ugh, freaking.
He's gonna
And the
draft a
thing is,
kid
like,
straight out of high school.
Even if Kyle Pitts was there, he wouldn't draft him because he's like, we used 2 third-round picks on tight ends.
He also has too much talent. He has too much talent.
we have
Don't forget that.
Asiasi.
Devin Asiasi, Dalton Keenan, Ryan Izzo will carry
Yeah,
the load.
Don't forget Kyle
No.
Pitts is
Forget
too
about
talented.
Don't forget about Matt Lacoste coming back from his opt-out this year.
It's been a while
Ooh.
since New England has drafted a good skill player. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's because Kyle Pitts is too
Rob
talented. They're
Gronkowski.
not going to
They've
draft him
done
because he
well.
has too
They've
much
done well
talent.
drafting linemen and defenders for the most part. He's done well doing that, but
Yeah.
just the skill player aspect is-
linebackers, DNs, defensive line bad, linebackers good, and offensive line good.
Owenu and
Yeah.
Owenu's been pretty
Offensive
good.
line good.
Isaiah Wynn.
offensive line
Tooney,
good.
all those guys have been defensive line. Malcolm Brown, you traded.
Well, they drafted Flowers. Flowers was as a Pro Bowler.
Flowers was good. Easily, Dominic Easley, terrible guy. Tore his
Yeah.
ACL like 6 times.
Didn't
I
they
mean,
choose?
I guess you can't control that.
Oh,
But
did they trade for Danny Shelton? That was the guy they traded for.
they traded for him. They didn't draft him. He's like been in the league
Was
for a
that
while.
the Jamie Collins
Yeah.
trade?
Huh?
Wasn't that the Jamie Collins trade?
Jamie Collins trade. The first one? No, we've
The
had
first one to
Danny Shelton for a
Cleveland.
couple
The
years.
first one to Cleveland.
I
was-
thought
got
they got,
Bark-
they got
they
Shelton.
got like a
Barkevious
fifth
Mingo.
rounder for that.
Oh,
but-
Mingo.
Mingo, who was sixth overall in the draft when he got drafted, but he's kind of bad.
Markevious.
Marquise, who else? Chandler Jones we traded. He was good. See, Bill's best draft was from 2010 to 2014. He took Hightower, Chandler Jones, Gronk, Aaron Hernandez, Devin McCourty. Aaron Hernandez. He was good.
Aaron. Yeah.
he was very good.
Who am I missing?
Who?
Yeah,
Oh,
Aaron
And,
Hernandez.
okay.
any offensive lineman? Move the offensive lineman. We're missing the
Tooney
offensive
was
lineman.
2015, I want to say.
We'll throw Tooney in that mix. Why not?
So
We'll say
sure.
Tooney. Say Tooney.
It would come to me, but I can't think right now. The trend was better than the
He
last
drafts
5
the-
years.
The last 5 years, the position
Yeah.
players, N'Keal
Mhm.
Harry. N'Keal Harry could have had DK. Sony
He
Michelle
drafted
could have had
James White,
Chubb.
like,
Yeah.
Could have had Chubb. Drafted
yeah,
Sony instead.
Chubb was taken like 4 picks after Stoney, but
No.
it's. I feel like we're gonna take at 15, and it's gonna be Jones, linebacker and a D tackle. He's gonna go D tackle. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be depressing.
I mean, at
Well,
least
at
he's.
least it's not like the worst
If-
thing in the world. I mean,
However,
we
though-
need Mac Jones, but at least he's filling a spot that needs to be filled. At least it's not drafting like some kind of like fullback or something.
Yeah.
Or do they go on a route where they think they can sign a quarterback in free agency? Can they trade for Matthew Stafford? Like, can you get that filler and then draft a quarterback next year? That's the
What-
other thing.
What do we think of what? I mean, I told Brian, I saw this post on Instagram, on Twitter, but it was the Patriots trading for Deshaun, and then they have
You'd
the
have no
backfield,
draft
Harris
picks.
Michelle, and then you sign Hunter Henry, and you'd sign Allen Robinson,
Oh, that'd be sick.
right?
That'd be awesome.
You can trade
That'd
for
be
Hunter
so
Henry.
cool.
'cause
Allen
Bill-
Robinson's like an
that's gonna happen.
automatic like computer signing in Madden for the Patriots
Yeah.
every year. It's ridiculous, but like
And then draft
that'd be-
two.
That'd be pretty good. You give
Or would they
Watson.
or would they trade
would-
the pick?
They would
have to
trade
give
their
up the
picks,
picks.
so they're
And
giving away the
Trade a
picks.
ton of picks.
And Houston would love to have a first round pick because
They don't have
like we discussed.
They would have to give away
Tunsil.
we'd have
New
to give
England-
away the first. I would even throw Gilmore
first
in
and
there.
second. I would say first and second this year, first next year, and Stidham because they need a quarterback spot to fill.
Yeah.
I would
Who's their
I would throw
backup?
Gilmore in there just to do its free cap.
I don't know, like Matt Schwab or someone you never heard of.
Matt Schwab hasn't been in the
Block.
league for like a long time. Speaking of
Yeah.
Texans, where the heck is Brock Osweiler?
He went to Cleveland after he went.
Yeah, he did.
They like bought out his contract or something. I don't know. Whole
Why
thing
would
broke
they
the
want to
so.
do that?
Houston signed that guy to a
Cleveland-
4-year, $70 million. Like, yeah, that guy was.
Cleveland was in a really bad place for a very long time. They did a lot of regretful things.
That's I know.
Now they got their Lord and Savior,
Now
Baker.
they have Baker. Now Baker's
Baker.
kind of feeling it.
He's
so.
not their Lord and Savior. He's
No,
not.
I'm
gonna,
just kidding.
He's not. He's not.
What?
He's a.
If
a
you're a
fine-
Cleveland, if you're a Browns
he's a-
fan, he is your Lord and Savior because the last
Oh,
time the Browns took the playoffs was before I was
Fun,
born.
fun trivia. So we got Josh McCown is the third third string quarterback. Second string quarterback is the quarterback for Alabama in the Iron Bowl.
A.J.
Chris
McCarron.
Davis Iron Bowl. Yes, AJ McCarron is the backup in Houston right now.
AJ McCarron gives me Mac Jones vibes, but
I
AJ
mean, he was a
McCarron, I'm like, this
bust.
guy's good, and then he gets in the pros.
yeah,
And
Alabama
he was-
quarterbacks. I mean, aren't really that good either.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Unless
I was
you're
gonna say
Tua.
Tua, but Tua didn't
Well,
have a
is
great.
Tua-
I mean,
has he proven
has
himself,
Tua
though?
really proven that much?
Jalen Hurts.
Has
Hurts?
he really proven that much?
He's shown more from
He's
Oklahoma.
shown more than
he learned
Tua.
more.
Exactly.
Oklahoma quarterbacks are where it's at.
hmm
So we're gonna get
Gotta-
Spencer The Patriots are gonna get
No,
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer
No,
Rattler
yeah.
has an asterisk
Yeet.
next to his
I do
name.
not want Spencer Rattler.
Ugh, I
Spencer
hate
Rattler.
that guy. I
Like,
love
he was
Oklahoma
terrible. He
football.
got benched early in the year. He got benched on the second game of the
Yeah.
year. but
Yeah,
then he
because they
kinda-
lost to Kansas State. If Oklahoma
it-
didn't lose to Kansas State, they make the playoff.
Then he
Yeah.
rebounded and actually finished pretty
Oklahoma's
well.
gonna be good next year.
Oh yeah.
They're returning like
I-
everybody.
yeah,
Same
I
with
love-
Georgia, except Georgia will
Kyle
find a way
Trask
to
gonna be like a
lose.
second round pick.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Who?
Kyle Trask.
Oh, he'll be a 5th round pick.
He went from Heisman finalist just
All you had to do was be like the entire rest of the Florida team. Just sit out that game and you'd be a top 20 pick.
I know.
I don't think he was ever going to go first round. I think he was 3rd, 4th round
Three
the whole
picks.
time.
just like you can be a top 20 pick.
Now,
Kyle
I'm thinking,
Trask.
now I know why
Old-
some of these guys sit
yeah.
out bowl games because they're
Yeah.
afraid of that happening.
I mean,
Kyle
he
Trask.
Well,
Exactly.
see,
Old
that's
might
not
be.
his fault though. His whole team opted
Getting
out.
a 5th round contract.
Yeah.
Bag of
That's
Cheetos and a
tough.
couple of pennies an hour.
I hate when people opt out for
That's
for
why they got to
playoff
expand the
games.
playoff just for the purpose of making guys play the game.
Exactly.
You're not opting out of the college football playoff.
No, you're not. Why would you? If they expanded it to 8, then I mean, obviously Florida would have been in there. So
Yeah. Let's talk about baseball. Some
Let's talk
big
about
big Red Sox news today. I wouldn't say big Red Sox news, but
Well, heating up. It's heating up
it's
with the
heating
Red
up.
Sox.
The stove
Considerably
is, the stove is
promising.
warming.
Spicy. Shake and bake.
It's
so
on
spicy.
It's on preheat right now.
It's
The
on
oven's on
preheat.
preheat.
yeah, it's preheating. It's at like
Guy
200,
Bloom,
200 degrees
Is
Fahrenheit.
he stirring the pot in the
Convection.
analytics field? Is he trying
I
to
hope
sign
so.
some buffoon we
Well,
don't know?
based off of the World Series, I hope he's not using analytics.
Times better pull up Dombrowski, get Price, Martinez, Sale, just
Seriously, but
blockbuster
so-
after blockbuster.
That's what the tweet was. Buster only. The Red Sox are ready to make a flurry of moves.
Well,
I mean,
Benny's
that's
the first
exciting.
one to go. Benny's the first
Which
one to
is
go
sad. I don't think
automatically.
that's
Red
the
Sox
right
trade
move.
for
I
Mike
don't
Trout.
think it should be either because Benny. I said this, and
He's still
you
a
like
career
the
Trout,
tweet.
280 hitter. He
Arenado, Tatis.
Yeah, he
we'll take
played-
them all.
Last
He played
year,
10 bad games. That was it. Like
with-
that, he played
with
10
broken
bad
ribs
games.
or whatever. The year
Yeah.
before, he was all screwed up because they changed the lineup around, but he was still hit fine. He was still good. In 2018, he was great. So he's
Especially defensively.
there's no
We
reason
get
to move on
blockbuster.
from him unless you're getting
It's all a
like,
hoax.
I mean, unless you're getting something good, which I mean, I don't know what. the hell you get.
Arenado.
Unless you're getting something good, or you have a plan to sign an outfielder like Ozuna or Springer or
Mhm.
someone
Yep.
like that. Fine.
Well, hold on. Even if they do sign an outfielder like Springer or Zuna, they'd still need one more because Jackie's not staying.
If
Jackie's
you-
gone.
Well, yeah.
This is
so
this could
they
be
have
very.
they have Verdugo, and then they still need 2 more.
This is a
Well,
test.
they have
Of,
Renfro.
this is kind of a
Yeah,
test.
Yeah,
of
but he's
my-
more of like a like a
No, he's a
villain
starting
guy.
outfielder.
Yeah.
Is he good in the field?
Yeah, he's a good outfielder. He's their starting right fielder.
Either
right
way,
now.
this is like a test of like if of my faith
or left fielder.
faith and
yeah.
confidence in this guy because like if we go into this, you give me the room, you're hyping me up, you're giving me the confidence juice here, this alert, and
Oh,
we end up with Adam
and they-
Eaton. I'm gonna be pissed,
Adam,
right? I want someone good. I want an effing all-star.
Just get Pilar back.
Red Sox go inside Adam Eaton from the Nationals. They trade him Benintendi, and that's it. Boom.
He's
Oh, on
gonna,
a side note,
it's
we
gonna-
also traded for like Ryan Yarborough in Tampa Bay.
and he's good. Ryan Yarborough's good. Ryan Yarborough's good. I'll
I
take
don't
Ryan
want this to be one of
Yarborough.
those things where they hype me up and we end up with like some jamoke
So
center fielder I've never
Kluber-
heard of that
Kluber's
played
throwing-
AAA last year.
Kluber's throwing tomorrow, so if he looks good, I think they sign him
His
in the next
wife,
2 days.
his wife is from Mass, right?
Yeah,
Hudson,
so
right?
he-
She's
From
Yeah.
Hudson,
if Kluber throws well tomorrow, he's coming to Boston. Is his health right? I wouldn't give him a big deal. I think it would have to be smaller. Odorizzi,
I don't think anyone's
Tommy
gonna
John.
give him
Did he
just
get
'cause
Tommy John or
either.
something?
he had like not Tommy John. I think he had like shoulder or back issue. I forget what it was. But and then Odorizzi was a Tampa guy. He's a Bloom guy, so I think he's a cheaper contract. I think you can get him on like
About a
1 year,
finesse DJ too.
1 year Martin. DJ, the Yankees kind of choked that, so hey, I would take that. Except I would go outfielder before him, just kind of a team needs. We kind of have a absolute influx
Who's
of
our second baseman that's coming up?
Jeter Downs.
Yeah. Jeter.
They still have Chavis
Yeah.
who could play second.
Chavis.
Oh, they got Big Mike.
Yeah, Chavis can play outfield because he actually did play a lot of outfield.
But
last
LeMahieu
year.
He
can kind
did.
of do everything. He can just kind of
He's a
No.
he's a chunkier, power hitting Brock Holt.
And you still have
that can
Yeah.
hit every single ball that comes near the
Jonathan
strike zone.
Amarouz.
Oh yeah, and
Jonathan Rose.
what's his
Christian
face?
Arroyo.
The absolute bucket at the start of the year.
Yarrow Munoz. Yarrow
Yarrow
Munoz. He was sick the last half of the season.
But
Yeah.
no, those guys are all Worcester Woo Sox players.
We're
No,
gonna have
I
like the
agree
best
with-
bench in baseball, but then like starting lineup's gonna be mediocre.
Now that they
Yeah.
have a ton of power. If you think about it, if an ideal starting lineup right now.
Plus having the
going
most
for-
hits in the league last year with
Yeah,
contact
they're-
wise.
So you're talking Verdugo. If you wanna- If you want to alternate righty lefty for these
Dugo,
purposes.
Devers, Bogarts, Martinez.
Verdugo's, Bogarts, Devers, JD, Vasquez, maybe even because he does have power and he hits for average. Dahlbeck, and then who do you sign in the outfield?
Dahlbeck's
Renfroe.
power bust.
Renfroe.
Um,
You want a guy that can actually give me some speed in the outfield. Let me get some speed at the bottom half of the order.
For-
Yeah, they're not
Renfroe's
going to
good.
have a lot.
I like the 2018 years where it was just gets a hit, then he steals second, then the next guy gets a hit, and that scores, and then we're up 1-0 in 2 seconds. Like I miss
Renfroe's
those.
a good
like,
outfielder.
I like the
underrated
2018 kind of small ball with a lot of power. They played. They
That's
can do
what,
small
but they
ball.
still
They
have
can
a lot
also
of
hit with
power.
Yeah,
Dahlbeck
well,
has a lot of,
they had the benefit of having the top 2 AL MVP
Their
vote
top-
getters.
their top 4 of the lineup is still all 300 hitters with power.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
also miss Mitch Moreland very much right now.
I do too.
Except
That would be,
Mitchie two bags.
Dahlbeck is good if he can lower his strikeout percentage.
well,
he
Dahlbeck
hits
is going to
absolute
turn
tanks.
into a Josh Bell, Joey Gallo. I feel like he's going to
or
be
Will
that
Middlebrooks.
guy. Or Will. Well, Middlebrooks didn't even hit home runs. He wasn't.
Ryan LeVarn way. There's
And
a good.
then-
There's a good
He was a
one.
Okay,
catcher.
no, that's not even.
we
Nick, we're
can't
talking
forget
about
Plawecki.
Oh
The
yeah, the
whack
whack dog.
The whack
And
dog.
then Casas is probably next year.
Tristan Casas.
Where is he a third baseman? We got Devers.
He's a first baseman. He's 6'6". That guy ain't playing freaking third. I'll tell you that right now.
He'll DH. He'll DH.
No, he'll play
DH.
first.
No,
That guy
no,
hits
we need
500 foot
JD.
tanks. That's huge.
Casas and Dahlbeck.
Ooh,
I agree with
think
Nick
they
though.
trade one of them.
I
I
like
agree
the
with.
speed at the
Yeah,
bottom
they
half because
should.
I want speed
we
too,
got
but
JD. I mean, you can't sleep on JD's still a good player, and we got top of the order: Verdugo, Bogarts, Devers, JD. Those guys all drive in runs,
yes.
and you got. I like some kind of speed at the bottom in the order to get on, so those guys can produce.
Okay,
especially in
so
the middle innings.
so you're signing an outfielder. Who's the outfielder?
I don't want my
you're
I don't want
signing?
my 9-hitter getting 32 hits and 32 homers in a season. I don't want that.
That wouldn't happen. But
No,
so who's
obviously, but I
who's
don't
your
want
9-hitter? Who's your bottom? Who's your outfielder you sign?
Adam Eaton.
Yeah, well, no,
Give me KP, baby.
I agree with Nick
Oh,
though. I don't
God.
want all this hype for them to go out and trade for Brad Boxberger and Jed Jerko or some jamokes. Like, no offense to those guys, they're in the bigs, but like, I don't want
the bigs.
I don't want the hype around the Red Sox and then them getting Jed Jerko and Brad Boxberger, and then Tucker Barnhart along with Tucker Barnhart.
I don't know.
So
one of those moves, one of the flurry of moves to Corn and Buster only is a starting pitcher. We know that. It's one of if not both
Wow,
Odorizzi and
really?
Kluber.
Bauer.
Or Trevor Bauer. Who
That would
knows
be
what
so
that guy's gonna do?
Who
Who knows? what that
Yeah,
guy's
no
gonna do?
one knows. But he,
For all we know,
like,
he's gonna go to the Royals. Like,
Yeah.
or Seattle.
Trevor Bauer breaking. Trevor Bauer has gone to Japan.
who knows?
He's gonna join the NBA. He's like Trevor
Trevor
Bauer, Charlotte Hornets.
Trevor Bauer retires. Like,
Imagine he hypes up everything just to retire.
that guy
would
could do
be
whatever
awesome.
he wants.
Retire to become the commissioner.
You're signing an outfielder if you're trading Benny, which I think is the stupidest thing right now. But give
I
it
don't
one
think
more
they
year.
should trade him.
He doesn't have any value. Well, he still has value because he's young and he still is a career 280 hitter with speed and good outfield. But I don't know. I think it's stupid to move on from him.
I think it is
And,
too. I think.
and then do you
they're-
go for one of I don't know what DJ would cost, but DJ Ozuna. Springer,
I
think
don't
would be
care what
too.
DJ costs. I'll take him,
Yes,
no matter
facts.
what
Yeah,
he costs.
facts.
That'd be sick. Finagling from the Yankees. The Yankees are going to
Yeah.
be terrible next year. They have no pitching anymore.
Yeah,
That's true.
their
Well,
their
you
second their second starter right now is Montgomery.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Like what?
It's a beautiful.
They
thing.
could go and they could still sign Billy Hamilton. There's
He
just
would
some
be
speed.
nice.
You want the
He
Red
would
Sox
be
to
he
sign
would be a
Billy?
JB. He
There's
would be
some
an
speed at the
exact.
bottom half of the
He
order.
would be an
Or
exact
Tyler- or a guy
copy
like
of JBJ.
or a
He's
guy like
older
Tyler
now.
Naquin or
Nah.
Puig. Some guys. that
Puig,
can
I
do-
do
Puig
not
isn't
want.
fast.
I
Oh
don't
my
want
God.
Puig on the Red
Puig,
Sox.
Puig tries to hit a 450-yard tank every time he steps up.
I don't want Puig on the Red Sox.
But
Well, you're
the-
not gonna pay your guy at the bottom a whole ton of money. Like you gotta find it. You're not gonna go out and
Well, if you sign one
sign
of these,
Michael
if you
Brantley
sign,
and stuff him in the 9 spot. You know,
if
what
you
I'm
sign
saying? Like,
Ozuna, he's your 5 hitter. He's not like your.
Mhm.
your
no, I get it, but I like if I don't know. I think I don't want this to be a full power.
Although,
team,
okay.
where it's just everyone hits home runs, and the one time you catch a pitcher on a good day, you get no
But
hit.
the Red Sox
no
aren't
reason.
that. They're guys who hit for average and still hit home runs. That's kind of
With
what they've
Ozuna-
been.
I get it, but like
So-
I don't want like the 6 through 9 players just to be pure power hitters. You want to sprinkle in the contact or spread out the lineup. Throw Vasquez in the bottom half of the order more. You know, just
With
spread out the
Ozuna,
Josh
lineup.
Pooch
right?
too. They could get him, but he's still kind of a power hitter.
He's also a
Right,
power
with
hitter.
Ozuna, in my opinion, is a major risk because yes, he had a fantastic year, but it's also coincidental that he had his best year in his contract year. So like he was a fine player with the Cardinals and the year before with the Braves. So I mean he was like okay, but he wasn't anything special. He's starter quality, but I think it's a little bit of coincidence that he had his breakout season, an MVP type season, because I think he was an NL candidate or at least a top 5 candidate this season in his contract year. That's what players do. They have fantastic years the year before they get contracts, and then once they get their money, they are just essentially they don't really play anymore. So I think that would be the only risk I would have with halting on Ozuna. If you can get him, great, but I wouldn't overpay him because again, he could turn out like I'll get my money and then leave, like Rusney Castillo.
How about we go for let's get Pretty Ricky back in here.
No,
4th
no,
starter. No.
Joe Kelly, that would be
Here's-
nice. I would want to trade for Joe Kelly.
Brad Hand.
Here's a
Bradley.
name. Here's a guy that I found that can play anywhere on the field.
Brock Holt.
Kike Hernandez.
Oh yeah, that was
Okay.
that was linked. That was linked a couple
You
weeks
throw
ago.
him in on the butt side of the order, and you get 270, 260, 270 average, maybe like 20 homers on 162 games.
He's good. He gets overshadowed by all those guys in LA.
He could swipe you like 10 to 15 bags. I mean, his on base percentage.
Why
and
are
he can
you
play
so
everywhere.
persistent on the stealing bases? Teams don't steal bases.
Like,
that
That's
much.
not a thing
it just
anymore.
to me when I see it, just the guy can.
No,
the guy
I
can
know,
run.
but you
I like
Big
the fact that
steal
the
a
guy-
base, steal a taco guy.
yeah.
I like this just to see that the guy can run, that he has legs.
No,
that work,
I agree,
and he
but
uses
it's just
them.
not a big thing anymore.
Yeah,
that
that's not
it's
really.
not.
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't want to. I don't know. I just
it's okay. Thank you for bringing up that stat, but it doesn't really help in that.
Well,
I do like Kike though.
he can
gets-
get on base. He can get
he
on
is-
base.
That
Yeah,
was
he's
linked
a-
a couple weeks ago.
He
And
can
then the
score
other
for
thing
second on a
is-
base hit.
Eddie
all that
Rosario
matters.
was like non-tendered or whatever by Minnesota, and then he's linked to Cora and stuff because
Mhm.
the Puerto Rico like World Baseball Team or whatever. So that's another
and
thing. That's a guy.
Antonio Rivera, cousins with
That's
Antonio.
another one
You know
you
what?
get without signing for like whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Who
The
knows?
stolen base stat tells me that this guy can get 2 bases this guy, if he's on base, can advance 2 bases on a base hit. If
That's
it's
most
a the right
guys.
way. He can do that.
That's most guys.
That's all I need from a 9 hitter. Can you score from second on a single? That's it. That's all you need. That's what
I don't know where he'd play though. Would he would be
He
a
can
second
play everywhere.
base?
He's a utility guy. He can play
Yeah,
outfield.
No,
He
I
can-
know, but you would want him in the lineup a lot, and if they're not gonna have
Not
injuries, and
necessarily.
I don't know.
He primarily he's like a Chris Young.
I
He
like it,
primarily
though.
hits lefties.
Chris
I like
Young.
it.
This
Chris
guy,
Young.
he's like lefty. He hits lefties well, but against rights, you see his numbers
sucks.
completely drop.
Chris Young was good that one year. He's with Boston.
He was good when he was on Arizona. He had a couple of good
Arizona.
years.
I don't even remember him
Yeah.
on Arizona.
No, he had a couple of good years on Arizona.
Yeah. Whatever. I think we're good with the Red Sox talk. Nick, to wrap
Yeah.
it up, do you
It's
want to
time for our
go
collective podcast,
our collective
Yes,
segment?
our collective segment called
Because you
Years
get
and Years.
mad when I call it your segment or assigned segment. So
Wasn't
it's our
mad.
collective.
It's our
Sorry,
collective.
you were.
It's our
you're
podcast.
triggered.
We all participate in it. You know what? It's not my segment. It's not.
It's a team
it's
sport.
Our
all-
collect. It's a
sports.
Podcasting is a team sport.
What is
like Andrew
mine
said
is
yesterday.
yours. Team sport.
What is ours is
Um,
the people's.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious! I think I.
Except for my house. Don't come in my house.
Okay, unless it's your dog, because you have a cute dog. Andrew,
Okay, go ahead,
Brian,
Nick.
Luke, that order's good. Andrew, yes, yeet, or yield. Are the Browns the next big threat to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC? Obviously, including Buffalo in there too.
I'm gonna yield for this. I think we still need to see a little bit more from Baker. I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, they were the 6th seed this year. I feel like they can definitely win the AFC North, but I mean, Kansas City, Buffalo, those are the top two. I mean, you can argue that those two teams are the top 3 in the league right now, and I just don't think Cleveland's there yet.
Brian,
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I think they win the division next year. I just don't think. I don't know. We have to see how they play against Kansas City this week. If they show, even if they lose, but if they compete the whole game, play a similar way, maybe they just kind of like a Suns effect. Gives them confidence going into the next year.
I mean, even if they compete against Cleveland, but the offense could be down a little bit, we still have in the back of our minds that their number one receiver's out. So
I don't
that
think
could
Odell's.
help.
I don't think Odell returns. I think
Luke.
they trade him.
I said heck no Chief yesterday, and I'm saying heck no Chief today. I like Baker as a regular season quarterback that'll get you a few wins, but he's too conservative and doesn't make the big plays in playoff time. Yes, he beat the Steelers yesterday, but he really didn't need to do that much. He really just needed to hang on to the ball and not turn it over. So until we see him win a big game where he is the main factor of them winning and he makes big plays, then I have to say heck no Chief.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hammer the red no button too, the yeet button, because I still am. I think Baltimore on a full healthy 16-game season is still the best team in that division. Cleveland's a good team. They're a good team now, and we'll have to see how they play against Kansas City. But they're regardless, they're a good team. But I don't think they're a threat, and because I don't think they can come out of that division. It's a very competitive division. I think Baltimore's best team in that division. And when you play in the wild card round, it's tough to prove stuff if you're the away team every game. And sometimes you're playing teams that are way better. Sometimes they might get stuck with the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very tough for them when they're not the best team in their division. So I'm gonna hit no. Yeet. So obviously, we're moving on to number 2. Andrew is, we all think this is Big Ben's last rodeo. Should Pittsburgh consider? Yesterday I said moving up in the draft. It should say be aggressive in drafting or signing a quarterback this offseason. So should Pittsburgh be aggressive in the search for a quarterback this offseason?
Yeah, I think they should. I don't think Rudolph's a guy. Big Ben should retire after what happened in the wild card game against Cleveland. I think they need a quarterback. Let's be honest, they do have good receivers as much as we dislike them. They're a decent receiving core.
Yeah.
Great defense. Basically carried them to the 12 wins that they had. And I feel like quarterback is their biggest need if Big Ben leaves. Even if he stays, I feel like it's still one of their top needs.
Yeah.
I would say yes, pretty much too. They have a big salary cap issue and a lot of free agents next year. So I don't think they have what it takes to be able to trade up. I think they're going to have to go through a big rebuilding year. So they're going to be bad next year. Same with New Orleans. New Orleans has they're like $100 million over the cap going into next year. So they're going to have to trade guys, restructure contracts. Like they're going to be bad. That's kind of funny.
I'm going to switch my answer from yesterday, but not really switch because I also honestly don't remember what I said. But I think that they should be aggressive dependent on what Big Ben does. If Big Ben retires, then you just let Mason Rudolph stink up the joint, and then you get a good draft pick next year and draft a quarterback. But if Big Ben stays, then I think you have to go for it now so that a rookie quarterback or a quarterback that's younger than Big Ben can have a year to watch Big Ben and be under his wing as a kind of, prodigy, but I don't want to say prodigy because that's a bad word, but you know what I mean. Just if Big Ben doesn't retire and he wants to play the next season, then go for it now and let the young guy sit back and wait and watch for a little bit and learn from Big Ben. But if Big Ben retires, let Mason Rudolph be Mason Rudolph and get a top pick next year in draft.
I think yes, they should be. They should be. Yes, they should be aggressive. Andrew alluded to it. Even if Big Ben stays, you get a quarterback that can kind of practice and learn from him. He's an experienced guy. He's won a Super Bowl. This guy's got a lot of experience under his belt, and he's probably gonna be a Hall of Famer. And it's always nice for your first year as a rookie to be able to learn under a guy like that. And also, they don't have the worst receiving core I've ever seen. If a rookie can develop under that core, they can make it work. They're not given totally useless weapons, right? They can develop under that core well. And so I think they should be aggressive in the draft to get a young quarterback. And frankly, I think Big Ben should stay. I think he should stay because Pittsburgh this young quarterback, whoever they draft, could learn a lot under him. And I think, that goes a long way. So I'm hammering the green yesh button. I've hammered 2 buttons very hard today.
Sweet.
And that will conclude our.
That will conclude it, and that will
episode.
most likely conclude our episode. Final thoughts, anyone?
Go Pats!
Go Pats.
Go Bruins.
Short
Bruins.
little clown bag nominee because we didn't
For
do one.
Thursday.
We don't have to discuss it. But I mean, how about Kyrie Irving? So
Nah.
Dude.
absolute
Play
bum.
basketball. Play
He's a
basketball.
bum.
Play
I think
basketball.
I
He
think the
didn't
Nets
wanna
should cut him.
No, they're not going to do that.
I'll
Or
give
should
anyone
be
$20 bucks.
suspended.
Yeah, I
Or
just
should
think
give
be
it's
anyone
suspended
20
by
bucks
the
if you're-
league.
I'll give anyone $20 if he retires before the end of the season.
Ooh, that's actually, not a wild statement.
Retire.
Honestly.
He's not
Because he doesn't like it anymore.
He's got
He wants
so
to
much
work on his
money.
meditations and
Nah, he's
Yeah.
just got
Indian
so much money.
Burning
from
his
burial
sage.
routines.
He's
Yeah.
got
He's a
so much
weird.
money from
He's a weird dude.
Yeah.
So he wants to learn karate or something.
I guess. He's something's wrong with him. Seriously.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
for listening. We'll see you on Thursday. Quick turnaround in 2 days. We're sorry if this was a little forced, but we talked about some different stuff. We didn't talk about the Red Sox at all yesterday, but we talked about them a ton today. But
No
we'll
one
be
cares
back
about yesterday.
on Thursday with a good episode. Hopefully it will be recorded properly. That would be so sad if it wasn't again. I'm double checking now. We are recording, thankfully.
Watch out for some new guests coming soon.
Yeah,
That's true.
watch out.
That's
Thank
true.
you guys for
There
listening.
will be a new guest coming soon.
There will be. Hopefully. Who
TDB.
knows?
Time. TDB.
Yeah, who knows though? I mean, he could just yeet and not
Nope.
come with us, but it doesn't matter. Or Nick's gonna be persistent. Nick's gonna be very persistent. And it's gonna be a
He's gonna
definite
come
yes.
on. He's gonna come on. We already got it set
Okay.
up. So
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. The 25th.
Thank you guys for listening. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Big Four _podcast. Peace.